Today I'm doing an unboxing, which isn't my normal type of video, but I've always wanted to do one, so let's get started. If you take a look here, this says Peak Design, which is kind of cool. And if I'm correct, and someone didn't just send me a bunch of stuff from Peak Design, this is my order that I put in very recently for their travel tripod, which I am very excited to get. Let's open this up right here. Ah, look at that. That's what it looks like. I got the tripod, some anchor links, and the universal head adapter because I wanted to see if I can put a video head on this at some point. But this is what it looks like. Cool. Let's try to open that up. Look at that. Cool. So it comes in a really nice box. Jeez, this is all right. Peak Design Travel Tripod Trapide de Voyage. Can you see that? Cool. So if I'm correct, I just lift that up. Haha. And out comes the tripod. This is the carbon fiber version, so that's 2.81 pounds, 1.29 kilograms. And it's about 15 inches in height and 3.1 inches in width, I guess. Cool. Yeah, nice box. I always feel bad throwing boxes out like this, but I used to hoard boxes and, it takes up all this, it takes up space, it's a big thing, so. Oh, it's got even more stuff. Travel tripod, compact ball head, 5 segments, 150 centimeter max height, carbon fiber. Climate neutral certified? That's nice. A friend of mine actually, I think he's talked to Peak Design about their initiative, which is kind of cool. But let's move on. Let's look at Joe. I mean for this to keep on happening. There we go. That's kind of nice. This bag here, you can just hold it like that, I guess. I don't really plan on using the sleeve very much. I find that this stuff, although it does protect your gear, it's just unnecessary. It's another step to take stuff out and then, please. All right, here we go. So we've got a sticker on the bottom of this one that says designed in San Francisco, made in Vietnam. Cool. Yeah, this thing's pretty dope. Hello. What does the tag say? Do you think the tag says anything interesting? Traditional tripods, Peak Design tripods. Never miss a shot. No more bulky or confusing knobs. That's fair. I don't really like the knobs on my old tripod that I used. Rapid deploying, open and ready to shoot in seconds. Built-in phone mount. All right, I heard about that. I can take Astro now with my iPhone. Did you know that if you have your iPhone on a tripod, it will shoot longer than, I think, like 5 seconds in low light mode? It will do a full 30-second exposure time. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you can put hooks onto, like anchor hooks from Peak Design, which I just threw over there. You can put those onto the tripod, so you can carry just the tripod, which is nice. So you don't like necessarily just need a backpack to hold this in. You can just attach it to the bottom here and up there. That's, all right, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty nice. I know I just looked into the manual, but I don't know how to, all right, there we go, unlocked. Ah, hello. So that looks like a pretty standard sized, so does this click in? Ha 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 ha, look at that. So there we go. Vloggy. Hello, I'm Mark. All right, I'm gonna set this down and let's continue once I've opened it up, huh? So this is the Peak Design carbon fiber travel tripod in its perfect form, in the way that Peak Design envisioned it. I've got a version 1 backpack, I think that's the 20 liter. I've got the Peak Design strap, I've got anchors everywhere, and of course I have a clip on the backpack. So these straps do go on. I attach the straps also to the tripod, so I'll be able to use the straps to carry my tripod if I don't have the backpack on. The backpack itself is being held on by the little hook in the center, so I have a little bit of a center weight. The nice thing is, with the backpack, I also have the Peak Design camera clip, so unlock that, lock that in right there, and I can remove it and put it right back there. This also works with the GorillaPod. See, works with the GorillaPod head. This is actually a switch pod, but the GorillaPod ball head is what I'm using, and it works perfectly. So there you go. As you can see, the capture system works perfectly across Peak Design products. The anchors work perfectly across Peak Design products, and the added bonus is it works with my GorillaPod. Speaking of ball heads, this is a ball head and it seems to work pretty well. Loosen it and it gives you a massive range of motion. So I can go on to the side like that, just up, point it back, point it down, which is really, really nice. And to tighten it, it's pretty seamless. You just tighten it and it doesn't require that many moves. I just over loosened it, I guess. The camera itself is actually locked in. This little switch locks it in, so I don't need to worry too much about that. It's not going anywhere when it's locked. When I unlock it, it comes out. On top here, I have a leveling head or ball fluid thing. I don't actually know what they're called. I find that it's a little small, so it's not perfect for fine adjustments, so I'll definitely be using my camera. It has an internal gyro on the inside, so I'm gonna be using that for the fine moves. But as far as getting pretty darn close, you'll get pretty darn close with that. The center column itself extends up and down. Actually, I'm gonna take my camera off here. The center column itself adjusts up and down with just that little rod right there. The knob is pretty damn nice. I find it to be pretty helpful, and it stows away, which is both really cool and slightly worrying. I do a lot of stuff in cold weather and in remote slash just like the middle of nowhere where dirt, water, and just ice could build up here. So that is the only concern at this point that I have. This is really cool, and I'm sure for a lot of people it's gonna be really nice to have this popping out and then getting back in for the slimmer profile. But to me, that looks like a failure point. But hey, it could work perfectly in freezing cold temperatures, who knows? Continuing on the center column, I can actually turn this around, which is really nice, and go into inverted mode, which I just found out. So we open it up and out comes the iPhone tool, which we'll use in a second. Then I loosen this off. That's the center column right there. And we can slide that right up here. You don't necessarily need to add the top hook, but I will anyways. And you have an inverted camera. And there we go. I've top down and I'm able to take shots of my socks, I guess. So to remove it, it's the exact same method. Take the camera off, although I guess you could do this with the camera on. I wouldn't really suggest it. Pop down there. Slide down, and there we go. While we have it out, this is the iPhone clamp. One side is longer than the other. That's how you know it's the bottom. And it just clicks in just like that, just like any other camera. I'd lock it. Let's take out my phone and we will go up here, and there you go. Sits perfectly stable, and just like with a regular camera, the ball head works perfectly fine. So I can twist it around, do up, down, left, right. And this obviously does work for the inverted mode as well. I love that it just like sits down here in this little hideaway. It's a great use of space, which is obviously the point Peak was trying to make, which was your average tripod isn't efficient enough. So the tripod folds up pretty quickly for a photography tripod. When you lower down the head, close that up, close all the legs at the same time, which is just the way I do it. There we go. With it closed down is the mode that I would choose to open up the legs. And that's pretty easy. There's just a little button right here that you press. You press it and it will open up and go past the lock point of open to get you an extended leg. And you have a tripod designed for low angles. I also know that there's an extension or a separate kit that you can buy that removes the legs, and it's just this core tripod. So you sort of have a hi-hat height system for still cameras, which is nice. And there you go. It's nice and small, nice and tidy. We'll go back into utilizing the ecosystem. I've got my strap right here. And there you go. It's on my back. I can shoot with a tripod and not need to worry about putting it on a backpack if I don't need anything else. This is a pretty cool system. This is pretty nice. I'm gonna see how well this fits in with my backpack now. All right, and as you can see, it fits on my version 1 20-liter backpack pretty darn well. Jumping around, sliding around. I guess it did slide a little bit there, but it fits perfectly well, flush, in the pocket where it's supposed to go. So overall, I think it's a great tripod just as far as the first impressions go. Given that I only have one, not even problem, but concern, which is this little sliding button here. I mean, I think Peak Design hit it on the ball. It's carbon fiber, it's extremely light, it's clearly very efficient. It's got just everything that you need out of a tripod. And most importantly, nothing that you don't. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's just a tripod, and it's a phenomenal one at that based on my first impressions. All right, so that's the unboxing and first impressions on the Peak Design travel tripod in carbon fiber. I hope you guys like this video. I'll probably be making more reviews in the future because this was pretty fun to make. See you guys next time. Bye. This is a pretty small, it's got 2 batteries, but it's still a pretty small red camera build. Let's see how this sits on this little Peak Design carbon fiber travel tripod. Huh. It fits. And it feels pretty sturdy. I don't know if I would do this regularly, especially because if I was shooting like this, I wouldn't have my base plate and like the dovetail and the handle there. But, or two batteries? Are you kidding with me? Like a dual, why someone would do this traveling? I don't understand. That's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive. All right, well. So, if you want to put your red camera on your travel tripod, it's most certainly doable, and doable even with 2 batteries and a pretty heavy base plate and handle and everything. I think the takeaway for most people from that is going to be it can handle a big camera and big lenses, not maybe that, but that's insane.